Stand by. The vacuum tubes are warming up. This is a special live broadcast right here on Georgia Radio.
Well, I'm happy to say that today we have the great Makenzie Phipps joining us again. Makenzie, how are you? Happy New Year.
I'm doing so good. Happy New Year. Thank you for speaking with me today.
Well, it's just a pleasure. The last time you came on, you just won us over. I don't know how else to say it. And your music is just fantastic. I love all of the success that you've had in 2023, and I can't wait to see where it's carrying you in 2024. Truly.
Well, thank you so much. I very much appreciate your kind words, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Lord has in store for 2024.
Well, amen. Your music, for those who don't know, is just good country music. It's not. I'm not going to like pigeonhole it and say, well, it's kind of a blend of bluegrass, or it's a blend of this, or it's just good music, right? It's just good country music. Is that how you would describe it? I hope.
Yes, I do sing country music, and that is and always has been my passion. And I just love everything about country music, and I'm hoping to bring more of that true sound of country music back in today's music.
Yeah, and now they're trying to say, well, it's traditional country, or it's this, or it's that. I think it's just good music. And
right.
Life Gives You Love. I played it this morning here in the barn, and I got to say, that is a winner, if there ever was one. This is not one that you wrote, but it's one that you found. Talk to me about it.
Yes, I had so much fun recording this song, and the main reason why I wanted to sing this song is because I wanted to show individuals that have been following my musical journey for a while now that I have a different side to my voice. I very much enjoy singing country music, but I also have a soulful blues element to my voice as well that I like to tap into every now and then. And the songwriters on this song did a fantastic job writing it. It was Megan Patrick, Lance Miller, and Kyle Clark. And my producer, Sal Oliveri, is the one that had pitched this song to me, and I'm very glad he did because I just love everything about it, and I love singing it.
What is it like working with Sal Oliveri? I mean, for those who don't know, I mean, we're talking some major artist who he's produced over the years. So
he is so down to earth, and he just makes all of his artists just so comfortable in the studio, and he can hear certain things that you wouldn't even think of, and he just comes up with so many amazing products, and I was just very fortunate to get to meet him and to get to work with him.
And this is is this the first project that you've recorded with him, or is this? So
I actually had recorded when I went into Nashville about 2 or 3 years ago. I'm losing track of time now. It's 2024, and that shocks me so much. But when I had went in the studio, I recorded 6 songs with him. So the 4, counting Life Gives You Love, the 4 that I have already released,
right,
I recorded with him.
But all at the same session. So this is really cool, because what we're hearing now and what we have been hearing is your time with him. And that's cool. And I hope that maybe there's more to come, because once you find those magic producers, boy, you just got to stay with them, That's
100%. And he's a great guy.
Well, I'm glad you're getting to work with him. And of course, I guess Garth Brooks, Keith Urban, Chris Stapleton. There's a whole list of people who have walked through that same door, and just look at where that got them. I want to play Life Gives You Love. If you're listening to this on the stream right now, live on GeorgiaRadio.com, this is Life Gives You Love. If you're listening to the podcast, you're going to have to go download it right now for yourself, which you should do anyway, and it's available wherever you download your music. But here is Makenzie Phipps with Life Gives You Love. All right, so tell me what drew you to this song initially, because when you hear a song for the first time, it's not produced. It's not, well, it is produced, I guess, if you hear a demo. But how do you fall in love with a song like this the first time?
Well, when I had heard the song, I very much enjoyed the singer on it. I can't remember I don't think Megan was the one singing on the song, but I could be wrong. It's been so long since I have heard the original recording of the rough cut. but I just loved the music with it. I loved the soulful blues element to it, and I felt like it could be a very vocally showcasing song for me. So that's kind of what gravitated me to it, as well as the message. I felt a lot of individuals out there could relate to it in their own way, and maybe that song will be introduced to somebody that needs to hear it in that moment.
I think it's great. Well, it does. And I don't think of you in that light still trying to showcase what you can do, because to me, you've already made it. And I think, and I'm serious. And to one of our listeners out there, Miss Betty wrote in, and she has discovered your music now, and she's a longtime listener of this station as long as we've been on the air. She's been listening. And
cool.
Yeah, I know there are not many 86-year-old women who can navigate their phone like Miss Betty can. When we first got started, I'm serious. When we first got started, we had a big red button, and that's what we used to say. Just mash the big red button, and that's how you listen. And so she's done that over the years. The last few years, she's been listening to us. Miss Betty wrote me, and she said, I heard Makenzie was coming on. I read it on the twits, which means X. Now, the Twitters. I didn't even know we still had a Twitter feed, but I guess we do. Anyway, she wrote in and she said, I want to know who that handsome cowboy is she's always hanging out with that plays guitar. Well, Miss Betty, I'm going to tell you it's none of your business. If Makenzie wants to say something else, you can address this.
You leave Miss Betty alone.
I know, right? She'll show up to the front door.
Yes, so that cowboy is Mr. Shane Begley, and he is literally everything to me. So he writes songs for me. He has played drums for me. He can play basically any instrument I need him to play for me. But currently he has been singing backup with me at shows, as well as he's been doing backup guitar. More like I've been doing backup guitar, because he just is an insanely talented musician. I always tell people I'm a singer. Like, I can play the guitar okay, but at the end of the day, I'm a singer, and that's all I like to do at all of my shows.
Well, but you play other stuff too, though, not just guitar. I mean, you play piano too, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I do. I try to play. I try to play the piano.
Okay.
But yes, Shane, he's been in my life for so long, and he is just my absolute best friend in the entire world, and I could not imagine having a life without him. And I'm very grateful and appreciative for everything that he has possibly done for me. And he's an insanely talented songwriter. He had actually wrote You Bring the Beer, I'll Bring the Noise, which was my last single that had released. And he also wrote Maybe, and that was actually my first ever country song that I had ever released. So he's just one of a kind, and I couldn't imagine a life without him.
Well, you had a huge year, and it sounds like he was right there, because Miss Betty pays attention. So she's clearly following you on whatever she's following you in. And I think it's great that you have that kind of breadth when it comes to an audience, because it just speaks to where you're at and what you're playing. Let's talk about I'll Bring the Beer, because that was that's a fun song. I mean, it really is a fun song. It's been out just for a little while now. You Bring the Beer, I'll Bring the Noise is the name of the song, and it's out right now wherever you download your music, and you can go buy both of them now. Life Gives You Love, You Bring the Beer, I'll Bring the Noise, and they're both great tracks. Talk to me about that one, and we'll play it at the end of the interview on the live stream.
Yes. So as I was saying, Shane wrote that song, and it was the last song that got added into the mix when I went and recorded with Sal. We kind of came up with it last minute, and I was like, I want to go and record it. But I had asked Shane if he could write a upbeat song, and for him to kind of make it about me. So he decided to write the song about my upbringing in Virginia, and we wanted to kind of have individuals that may have never been to Virginia. Well, how would they relate to the song? Well, we added beer into the mix to give it a neutral vibe, because who doesn't love a good beer?
There you go. All right. And not moonshine or anything else, but there you go. I like it. I like it. Well done. What's next for you, and where are you going to be if folks want to come see you live? Because that's the best way to see a country music show.
Well, I have been working on my 2024 calendar, and I've managed to get about 60 plus shows on my tour schedule, so I'm looking forward to that. I will be having my tour schedule updated here in the next couple of weeks on my socials and website, so people can go check that out. But I will be around Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and I even have some shows out in Illinois and Indiana. So if people want to go check out where I'll be, maybe our paths will meet.
I look forward to seeing you down here in Georgia at some point, hopefully sooner than later, and we'll get a chance to see you live there. Well, Makenzie, thanks for coming on. It's always a great pleasure, and we're going to close out this interview here with Mackenzie's, second song for this interview, because, when you release as many as you're doing, it's just hard to keep up, but we're going to play it right now. You bring the beer, and I'll bring the noise. If you're listening on the podcast, we're going to duck off now because of royalty issues. We can't do that, but Makenzie Phipps, thanks for hanging out today. Great having you on.
Thank you for speaking with me, and I look forward to speaking with you in the future.
Country, that's what I grew up listening to.
Georgia Radio. We love you more than peanuts and peaches. So glad you're here.